Mason, I remember two things. One, everybody leaving a like on this video. And the second thing is...
You remember that?
I remember that.
It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but I remember it. And the second thing I remember is that I was really excited.
Some sort of fourth dimensional being?
Yeah, probably, Mason.
It's pretty cool.
Isn't everybody in the Shrek movies some kind of fourth dimensional being?
Probably.
They've got knowledge of pop culture from any direction.
Right.
Like any reference, any country, any point in time.
Right.
I don't get it.
I think one of the characters in this is like, I was just in France. Where's this then? I thought this was like a pocket dimension of some kind, but it's got a France?
It's got a France, Mason.
Wow. But you're right. It's sort of in the style of like, you know, Aladdin's genie.
Yeah.
But with fewer Jack Nicholson impressions, I guess.
Very true, Mason. But the second thing I remember is that I was really excited.
I'm amazed you'd remember the second thing. I would have forgotten the second thing.
No, I'm good.
All right.
That I was really excited for Shrek the Third because, you know, obviously, like most people, I enjoyed the first two movies.
This is Shrek fever.
There was a bit of Shrek fever. This was the third theatrical released animated threequel after Pokemon 3, the movie, and Rugrats Go Wild.
Huh.
It was...
Spring Break Rugrats.
Yeah, that's right.
All the Rugrats get arrested.
But this movie feels like a junior read-along storybook prequel to a better movie. Like, it feels like a stopgap where it's like, oh, the minor villain from the last one, he's now the villain in this one. And the jokes, they're not really here as much. We didn't think about it as much. It all looks good. And I don't even mind a lot of the ideas in it. But maybe the key component of this is it's just not very funny.
I thought it had a pretty good run, like initially, like the first bunch of jokes. I liked seeing Shrek and Fiona dressed up in, you know, sort of fancy nobleman finery, which led me to the question, is Shrek just bald? I'd not thought about it, because Fiona's an ogre, and she's got hair.
So you think he had male pattern baldness?
Yeah.
Or he shaved
But human Shrek
Yeah.
has hair.
Yes.
So what's going on there? Is it all the male... You know, I'm pretty sure we nailed down the fact that Shrek killed all the other ogres and ate their eyeballs.
Maybe.
So...
We'll talk about that next week.
Did any of them have hair?
Well, here's the thing. Next week when we talk about Shrek Goes Forth, or in the fourth dimension, or whatever it is.
I knew it.
He's, there's a whole bunch of other ogres in it. So I can't remember, but we're going to find that out. We're going to know.
Okay.
Don't tell us in the comments.
You'd know, though. Like, if they had, like, beehive hairdos, you'd remember.
No, I'd remember some form of hair, is what I'm saying. And I don't. I don't remember any beehive hair situations.
Mustache and a mullet.
Exactly. But the thing is, the idea that, you know, he's living in a castle and he doesn't like being part of this system and, you know, he's like, I don't like being in charge or whatever. It's like, we did this.
We did
a lot of this already.
And I think you're right in the sense that the action subplot, which is just Prince Charming comes back and he brings in all the enchanted monsters or what have you.
Which I like, actually, yeah.
That, you know, that is fairly sort of... You're right, it does feel like kind of a second-rate plot beat. But then, like, what is supposed to be like the interpersonal plot. Shrek doesn't want to become the king, so he has to find the heir. So he goes and he finds Arthur, and he's like, hey, Arthur, you're the next heir to the throne. And then later, he learns that Shrek was the actual heir to the throne, and he's like, you lied to me, Shrek.
Yeah.
I thought I was the first heir to the throne, but I'm actually the second heir to the throne.
But
who cares?
You wanted to do it, and I don't want to do it. So what do you give a
Shrek,
shit?
why didn't you just go to him and be like, listen, I'm next in line, but I don't want to do it. Do you want to do it? Yes. Great. It's really easy.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And I think also the first movie you pair him up with Donkey, great. The second movie you pair him up with Puss in Boots, terrific. I love that even more. I fucking love Zorro Mason. You know that.
That's right.
We talked about it. This one, little boy Justin Timberlake, fuck you. No.
No, pair him up with Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon 1. When he's severely depressed.
Well, he's
suicidally depressed.
He's got the same haircut as Prince Charming. It's fine.
Yes.
It would fit into this universe.
I think so. I think they'd bounce well off each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, you know, Shrek's got Murtaugh's world weariness at this point.
Exactly.
I'm so tired of Far, Far Away, you'd say.
See, I thought also, because I hadn't seen this in a while, I know like a plot point in this movie is he's going to be a dad. And I'm like, I'm a dad. And, you know, maybe I relate to the fact that Shrek hates being a dad.
Right, sure.
But I don't like this. It's
being a dad.
No, I love being a dad.
Interesting.
It's the best, Mason. It's not for everybody, but I love it. I love it, Mason. But Shrek, I don't feel anything when he's like, I don't want kids. Okay, great, Shrek. That's really good.
Is that because you're compel to eat your kids? James?
No, not me, Mason.
Okay, maybe just Shrek.
And I'm not bald like Shrek. I've got my hair, Mason.
So true.
It's not a wig, is it?
Nope.
It's on the record, everybody. As mentioned, though, like there's a few new cast members of note here, and the inclusion of Justin Timberlake, and he was also with Cameron Diaz like around this time. I think they broke up in like 2007. Maybe that's the reason behind this casting. And there was a Prince Justin. Remember the poster? There was a reference in the last movie, which is apparently a coincidence and whatever. Nothing. Awful. And I don't hate Justin Timberlake as an actor. He was great in The Social Network. He was the great where everyone had their time on their wrists, but the time was how many...
It's wrist time, the movie.
How many minutes they had to go to work because they needed more minutes.
I gotta go. It's wrist time, and the wrist time police are here. The movie. Based on the stage play.
They gotta shoot the time off me or onto me. I don't like that, I think.
Quick, block the bullets with your time wrist machine. Or don't. They say don't, but then it was fine.
Just do
now
it.
I'm free of the time. I didn't see that movie.
I have seen it. It's got the world's best car crash ever committed to film. There's that, and also there's Eric Idle, who, on the surface, wonderful addition, another member of Monty Python stepping into this universe. The idea of him being this, like, weird, kooky Merlin. Love all of that, but nothing. Bad. Boring. Not funny.
Not funny.
Terrible design. Bald. Don't like it, Mason.
Sure, right.
I've got all my hair.
Sure, yeah. Anything less than that. Yuck.
But I just...
You know what I loved in this movie? Bizarre needle drops. The
Okay, yeah.
Wolf Mother, hadn't heard a Wolf Mother song in years.
That's true.
My goodness. Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin in that final battle
Absolutely.
sequence. But my favorite one was at the King's funeral, a chorus of frogs
Yep.
sings Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die from the Bond movie Live and Let Die.
Correct.
Did he request that?
I guess.
Wild.
It is wild,
Why
isn't
not
it?
Rainbow Connection? At least that's a frog-related song.
That
I don't
is-
understand. If I was at a funeral and they started playing Live and Let Die, I'd be like, you got the... This song's really stokey. Should we pause this movie?
Yeah.
Talk to the priest?
Yeah, that's it. Everybody knows that if an old person dies, an old man specifically, you play I Did It My Way by Franklin Sinatra.
Or It Wasn't Me by Shaggy and the guy who did all the singing in that song.
The other guy. I also thought, yeah, the addition of Damien Rice's 9 Crimes kind of was put in, and I love that song, I think it's great, to be like the Alleluia moment, which they had in the first movie, like a sad moment.
That's also a weird song to put in a movie.
It is a weird song, but you think
in a kid's movie, at that moment.
I don't think they put in the tie you to a chair and the sex thing, though. I don't think they put that in the movie.
Right.
But here,
Gingerbread chair.
that's a great moment where he flashes back his life, the gingerbread man. That's a genuinely good joke. Terrific stuff, loved it, big fan. No inclusion of the giant freak gingerbread that they killed in the previous movie, Mason.
Sure. There should have been a shot over his grave.
Yes.
His enormous grave. Then you play Live and Let Die.
Exactly. You know, and the idea of putting in Eric Idle, I'm expecting like, I don't know, like you mentioned Jack Nicholson. Was it Genie? What did you say? You said
Yes.
something earlier. Yeah, do like a Robin Williams thing. I'll even take a Will Smith style Genie.
Wow. Well, I was hoping that there'd be a collaboration or a reteaming of Cleese and Idol.
Yep.
Like in their Monty Python days.
That's right.
But no.
And the 1993 movie, we looked it up before.
We did look it up. Splitting Heirs.
That's right, which by all accounts is terrible, and I'd never heard of it. But of course, more recently in 2015, they did Absolutely Everything, a movie with so many people in it, which also nobody saw, it seems. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that would have been a great pairing. I've got a fun bit of trivia about him, actually, which we'll get to later. There's so much you could do with Merlin in this universe. Look what they did with a cat with a sword. I mean, you can't do something better with Merlin than this? Get out of here. Okay, so there's also the body swap thing, which is just like Shrek and Donkey get handsome. It's just really...
It was weird, right? I was expecting them to come through the portal and all 4 of them would have had their personalities swapped around.
Yeah.
But not too much effort.
And they also don't really do that much with it.
Right.
Like, I think there's more comedy to be had with a body swap, Mason. I just know. There's other moments, you know, like the teaming up of all the princesses, the same idea of teaming up all the villains. Solid idea, right? But also... you have the villains, like, taking over Far, Far Away Land, and then you have, like, the princesses taking it back. But again, we did something like this in the last movie.
Sure.
And then the dragon kills the guy? The dragon killed the guy in the first movie. It's just...
Children like dragons killing people.
They do, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And then
And parents like it because they can be like, and if you're naughty, I'll get a dragon
I'll
to kill
kill you.
I'll kill you.
I wouldn't, because I'm a good... Shrek would it.
Shrek would do it, yeah.
And then, you know, at the end, it wraps up where they go, and now King Arthur's king. Who gives a shit? Fuck this kid.
Right.
He sucks. It's probably the reason why everybody hates him.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like,
Because he's not a monster. He seems... He just seems like snarky and rude because he's handsome. And if you're handsome in this universe, everything should be fine. So what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Great question. We never learn, and it's interesting, right?
That he's the king now.
Yeah, but it's also interesting to, like, why... Because Shrek and Donkey go to find him at his high school, his medieval high school.
Yeah.
And where he is the most hated person there.
Yep.
Why?
Exactly.
What crimes did he do?
Yep.
Even the nerds
9
hate
crimes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And can beat him up. Like, what is he good for? Nothing.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Here's a theory, though.
Okay.
You got to throw in a Shrek theory every time,
Okay.
mate. This one has the least amount of theories because there's just not a lot going on in this movie. Next week, it's going to be Theory City, mate.
Is it?
I'll tell you that much.
Have you seen 4?
I have. Long time ago. But yes. Far away. Prince Charming and Artie, King Arthur,
They look the same.
they've got the same father, right? Like, that's... I mean,
Yeah.
they're both royalty. They have the
They've
same
got the
hair.
same wig maker,
Same
maybe.
wig maker. Like, he's just a shrunken version. Maybe Charming is his father. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a theory that has been posited before online.
Okay.
And they're both awful, you know?
That is
And they're
true.
both incredible ladies' men, it seems.
So we only meet Lancelot.
Yeah.
Not many of the other ones.
No.
What is it, the Green Knight?
No.
No.
Galahad.
Don't see any of those
Could have
guys.
got Michael Palin to be Galahad,
Sure could have, yeah.
who he might have been in Holy
Yeah,
Grail or
right.
a different one. I can't remember. Mason, though, it is something that this really grinds my goat, Mason. I tell you
Oh,
what.
no. Your signature goat.
It's continuity errors in movies, and this one is rife with them. So I'm just going to go through a few if you don't mind, Mason.
Okay.
So the Gingerbread Man says that the play that they're watching at the start is worse than the play Love Letters, but that play was originally published in 1989, unless Shrek is set in a post-apocalyptic future, Mason.
Maybe it's set in the Cars universe.
Exactly.
Mutant cars over here and there's freaks over
Or
here.
post the Cars universe.
Oh, after
They-
the cars have evolved into fairy tale creatures.
No, I think they probably all died of like exhaust fumes and global warming and whatever.
Okay,
I
right.
assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then these horrible creatures emerged from the swamp.
That's
I
right.
see, all right. That's why they were all in the swamp earlier.
Exactly.
The first movie.
Yep. The school band
That
is...
was them all being born. There's like a scene 0 on the Blu-ray where they just...
the school band is playing All Star at a prep rally, and this was actually performed by a real high
Pep
school...
rally or a prep rally?
Yeah, whatever. We don't have that shit in Australia, so
That's
it's
true.
whatever the fuck I say it is, Mason.
Oh, they played it at a school assembly, at an all-school assembly.
No, that was actually performed by a real high school band for authenticity. But here's the thing, that song was released in 1999, unless, of course, Shrek is set in a post-apocalyptic future, Mason.
a post-apocalyptic future.
One of the songs that Julie Andrews mutters after headbutting a wall is Favourite Things. But here's the thing, Mason, that song was actually part of the musical The Sound of Music, which was released in 1969. So that doesn't make sense unless Shrek is set in a post-apocalyptic universe, Mason. Also, Shrek throws a bottle, and like a glass bottle, and it breaks the side of a ship, and then the sail on the ship immediately catches fire, like straight away. And that doesn't make any sense unless Shrek is set in a post-apocalyptic future where maybe there's some kind of virus or nanotechnology that did that.
What a world.
What a world!
Maybe in Waterworld. I thought that was a funny bit, though. I'm delighted whenever anything just randomly catches on fire.
Okay, fair enough. I thought you meant that thing that I just did, but that's fine.
Oh, the bit
too.
you did?
Yeah,
that was also fine.
great.
Oh
Excellent.
my god, the bit you did just caught on fire.
Now that's comedy.
That's comedy stuff.
And this is green trivia, but it's not called green trivia because of the Shrek franchise. We've talked about this already. Mason, Eric Idle, upon seeing the coconuts as horse hooves sound effect, that we saw at the start of the movie,
Yes.
in the stage show, he admonished the makers of the movie publicly. He claimed they were ripping off Monty Python and the Holy Grail and stealing their joke.
Whoa, Eric Idle, more like Eric proactively critical.
Very good. This is also the only film in the franchise where Shrek and Fiona do not have an exchange.
Unprotected sex. Protected sex.
Correct.
Hence the baby.
It could have happened in between movies, but yes. So they don't actually exchange true love's kiss to solve any kind of problem.
Huh.
They drop a tower on the guy and whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
More effective, I think, in a lot of cases.
I think
would
so.
imagine,
Yeah. This is actually the last film in the Shrek franchise where we see.
Hooray! Oh,
No,
there's more.
where we see Shrek getting kicked in the groin,
Ah.
which I think is bad news.
Oh, and the next one, he's about to be kicked in the groin. He's like, please, God, no. I've been kicked in the groin so many times. And I had that swamp disease that dissolved my balls. It's just a mess. It's a soup down there. Please
don't.
stop. I'm in constant crotch-related pain.
Just a couple of, those soup-filled dumplings hanging about down there, Mason.
I'm going to take 2 ibuprofen and go to bed.
Here's some names that you might have recognized. John Krasinski plays Lancelot.
Oh.
Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph, they play Snow White and Rapunzel. And Seth Rogen is a ship captain or something. So this is like 2007 also, before these names like really took off,
Yes.
Now, the scene where Donkey and Puss in Boots switch bodies, Mason, that's actually a
Yawn, boring.
No, that's actually a reference to Gilligan's Island, The Friendly Physician.
No, it's not. Who is this? We're going to track this guy down. He was in one of the other ones as well.
I don't know about that. But
Is it you?
it's not me. I've barely seen Gilligan's Island. The scene in which
Explain your corn cob pipe then. And your skipper's hat.
it was my father's, who also has not bald, just to clarify.
Oh, he's got a great head.
I agree. The part where Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots, and Artie get shipwrecked on an island, that is a reference to Gilligan's Island. The scene in which Doris carries Sleeping Beauty over her shoulder, that actually also references Gilligan's Island, Our Vines Have Tender Apes. So yeah, somebody is in here doing this.
Yeah.
Someone who knows a lot about Gilligan's Island. Is this a prank? It's not me, genuinely. What is this? What's happening?
Someone who knows a lot about Gilligan's Island.
They're all dead, right? Everyone in that show, mostly dead?
Someone has an encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah.
Could it be the professor?
No, he died in real life.
Ah.
Could it be Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy? Or
Yes.
somebody, some kind of weird freak like
Sure,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, good
Uh-huh.
stuff. Here's the thing, Mason. Box office-wise, this paid off
Oh.
somewhat. So it had a budget of $160 million and a box office return of $813 million. And it did actually have the biggest box office opening of any animated movie. That was until Toy Story 3 in 2010. But it still made, as a result of word of mouth and a shorter theatrical run, about $130 million less than the last movie.
Oh, no.
I just think the quality of this, it speaks to those numbers. That's not always the case. Most recent Puss in Boots movie bombed so hard that everybody associated with it, they all quit their jobs and went back to work in whatever small towns they came from, Mason.
It's a shame. I hear this one's good.
It is good. It's incredible, Mason. It's actually incredible.
Do you think it's maybe because people have memories of this movie, like negative memories, the time Shrek showed his genitals to a room full of baby ogres?
Do you think that's what it
I
was?
think it might have been.
Yeah.
Which I think is inappropriate. Dream or no dream.
Don't do it.
I don't think you should do that.
You should
no.
go to jail regardless.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the director of this movie also went on to direct the first Puss in Boots movie, which I think is, from memory, it's pretty solid. I think the newer one is better, but yeah, I don't know what happened here. Did you have a Shrekingly good time?
Yeah, I had a Shrekingly good time.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I'm just kidding. I just like saying that. I have a Shrekingly good time every time I say that phrase.
Well, that is certainly true.
Nah, this one was you're right. It felt like filler, this one.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see what the fourth one is like upon a rewatch, because I remember thinking it was much better than this.
Okay.
And it's a lot of Shrek also being like, I don't want to be a dad and I'm going to change time.
Again?
Yeah, but
time
it's
now.
Time travel and whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
Is this a Santa Claus 3 situation?
Yes, Mason.
Whoa!
It is.
Ah!
Great reference to a series of movies we looked at and loved.
It's very true.
Yeah. Anyways, if you do want to come back and see that, that's actually going to go up early at bigsandwich.co, where these Caravan of Garbages, they always go up early, don't they, Mason?
Yes!
And that's not the
as
only
far
thing.
as I know.
That's right. And that's not the only thing there. If you do want to sign up for $9 a month, it's like our private Patreon. Our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows, comes out there a day early on Sunday as opposed to Monday. There's also other bonus podcasts and movie commentaries. There is a huge back catalogue of stuff there. Thousands of hours of us just yapping away.
A million hours, it seems like.
It seems like that, but it's not. It's closer to thousands of hours.
It's still quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, what does everyone think of this? It's bad. It's the worst one, but let me know if you think it's not. But it is. So that's just how it is. Thanks, everyone.
That's just the way it is.
Things will never be the same.
We've restarted the recording. We stopped the recording.
We had to do the thing at the end.
Where I say grab that Shrek, everyone.
Yeah, that's it.
2023, the year of grabbing that Shrek.
Yeah. Not by his Shreks. They are shattered.
Don't do it.
He won't like it.
Yeah.
You won't like it. Don't do it.